It was a Sunday morning when Carter Wallace stumbled into the gas station outside Benton Ridge, barefoot and covered in ash. His fingerprints matched the man who vanished a year ago. His wife and daughter were never found. He didn't remember much. "There was a motel," he whispered to the paramedics. "And mirrors, too many mirrors." They admitted him to a psychiatric facility. But something was wrong. Because Carter wasn't alone. He spoke to someone who wasn't there. Stared too long at blank walls. At night, he whispered names. Ellie, Lena, Sheriff Ellis, the girl with the stitched mouth. The doctors thought it was trauma. But the cameras told a different story. Every night at 3:03 a.m., the feed would glitch for exactly 13 seconds. And when it returned, Carter's bed would be empty. But the door was always locked. In a small town 30 miles away, a 10-year-old boy named Marcus opened a closet in his school hallway. Inside wasn't brooms or paper. It was a hallway of rooms with no numbers. Each door whispered when he passed. And one door said, "You're not supposed to be here yet." Carter began to draw. Dozens of sketches. A town with a clock tower stuck at 6 o'clock. A mirror with a girl inside. A motel hallway that curved into itself. One drawing was different. It showed a door made of teeth. And beneath it, Carter wrote, "If it opens again, the town will not stay hidden." That night, all the mirrors in the hospital cracked. Carter vanished. But his bed was still warm. And someone else was sleeping in it. Carter was found the next morning. In a church parking lot 2 towns away. He was barefoot again, no memory of how he got there. But something was different. His shadow didn't match him. It moved slower, like it was resisting. Meanwhile, Marcus, the boy who found the hallway of doors, stopped speaking. His parents said he drew strange symbols in chalk on the kitchen floor. When they washed them off, he cried for hours. At night, he started writing backwards in his sleep. "The town is looking for you. Don't follow the laughing girl. The door is in your name." In another city, a woman named Andrea Knox checked into a hotel for a work trip. She took the elevator to the 4th floor. But when the doors opened, she saw a motel hallway lit in yellow stained carpet, doors with no numbers. One door opened on its own. She stepped in. There was a mirror. In it, she saw her father, who died when she was 10. "You forgot me," the reflection said. "You traded me." She woke up screaming in the hotel bathtub. Water cold. Hands bleeding. A rusted key in her pocket. Carter began to lose time. He would open a cabinet and be standing in a field. Look into a spoon and see room 0. He didn't sleep anymore. He couldn't. Because when he closed his eyes, he saw everyone who was taken, and they were angry. "You got out," they whispered. "So why did you bring it with you?" On the 5th night, Carter woke in a motel bed. He hadn't checked into one. But the key on the nightstand read, "Room 0." And on the mirror, written in fog, "Some doors find you." Carter stood in room 0 again. He hadn't walked there. He simply blinked, and it was there. Same walls, same mirrors. But this time, the mirror showed people he'd never met. A boy with chalk in his hand, a woman crying in a hotel bathtub, a priest falling into a well. The room pulsed. It was alive now. The stitched-lipped version of Eva stood in the corner. "You brought it out," she whispered. "It's walking now." "What is?" She pointed to the ceiling. "Carved in bone. The town has no center, only eyes." Across the state, Marcus disappeared from his school during recess. No one saw him leave. But security footage showed the hallway closet door opening and staying open for 7 minutes. When they checked, it led nowhere. Only a mirror remained. And on it, written in red crayon, he chose to look back. Andrea began waking up in different cities. Every night, a new motel. Every room, the same layout. And each mirror showed someone else's death. Until one night, she saw herself, older, eyes hollow, standing in front of a burning tree, holding Carter's hand. Carter wandered the motel halls. He was looking for someone, but he didn't know who. Each door he opened was worse than the last. Room 3, a looping funeral with no casket. Room 5, his daughter Ellie, whispering things she'd never say. Room 6, a door that led back into Room 0. "There's no exit," he muttered. "It's a story that loops." Then a voice behind him. Soft, familiar. "You're not supposed to be here." It was Sheriff Ellis. But his body was transparent, glitching. "You brought the door with you, Carter. What does it want?" "To be remembered." The motel vanished. Carter woke up in his childhood bedroom, but something was in the closet. Not a person. A door. Breathing. Waiting. Carter locked the closet door, but he could still hear it breathing. Soft, rhythmic, hungry. He tried leaving the house, but every door led to a different version of it. One with blood on the walls. One with clocks ticking backward. One with Lena's voice calling him from the basement. On the 4th try, he stepped outside into Merrill Creek. Empty. Silent. Ash falling like snow. Except the sky wasn't sky anymore. It was mirror glass. Cracked, bleeding light. Meanwhile, in real life, people began disappearing. Not dying. Erased. Pictures blurred. Names gone from records. Families crying for children no one else remembers. Andrea tried to call her mother, but the woman who answered said, "I've never had a daughter." In her mirror, a motel room flickered. Room 0. Calling. Marcus returned home one night. His parents screamed when they saw him. He was smiling too wide. He didn't blink. And when his father grabbed him, his skin came off like clothing. Underneath, chalk. Living, whispering chalk. It wrote as it breathed. Some doors opened twice. Carter collapsed in the square, where the clock still said 6 o'clock. A book lay beside him. Old, leather-bound, moving. On the cover, "The Ones Who Stayed." He opened it. Every page was blank, until he bled onto it. And the blood turned to words. "You got out, but you left the door open. Now we're writing you back in." He screamed, and the sound cracked the sky. Behind it, teeth. Miles of them. Grinding time. The book pulsed in Carter's hands. Every page he bled onto wrote a memory. But not just his. Andrea's screams in the bathtub. Marcus drawing circles he didn't understand. Eva opening room 0. Each word etched itself in bone-colored ink, glowing faintly. He realized the book wasn't a journal. It was a gate. And it was almost full. He wandered the square. But now people walked it too. None of them blinked. All familiar faces. People he thought were lost. But their mouths moved out of sync. "We are the story now. You're not the author. You're the ink." Andrea sat in a train station, nowhere near Merrill Creek. She looked into the vending machine's glass and saw her older self again. But this time she was screaming. Behind her, the stitched-mouthed girl whispered, "You left your door open." Andrea turned. The hallway had replaced the station. Same yellow lights. Same carpet. A key in her pocket. Room 7. One she'd never seen. She opened the door. Inside, Carter. Holding the book. Eyes filled with terror. "You shouldn't be here." "None of us should," Andrea replied. Back in the real world, Marcus drew a final symbol. A spiral with 3 cracks. His house vanished. Only the symbol remained. And then, the cracks spread into the sky. Carter stood in room 0. The book was now blank again. Andrea beside him. The mirror in front of them started to melt. It wasn't glass anymore. It was skin. And behind it, something massive, silent, ancient. The town itself. Its eye. Watching. Remembering. It needs one more, Carter said. One last name to stay. Andrea reached into her coat, pulled out her hospital wristband, tore it off, let it fall. Me? Carter stepped back. Why? Because I want someone to wake up. She touched the mirror, and it opened like a mouth. Outside Marrow Creek, Carter woke up in his old backyard. Lena was beside him, Ellie on his lap, alive, smiling. But none of them remembered why they cried so hard that morning. In an empty motel somewhere outside time, a door closed. Room 7. And behind it, Andrea sat cross-legged, eyes shut. And on the mirror above her, some doors should never be found, but someone always does.